A wee disclaimer before we get into this video. For the first 10 or so minutes, the microphone was not plugged in properly, so you're going to have to deal with camera audio. My apologies. You're here to watch me slag Robbie Neilson anyway, so microphone or no, you get the gist of it. Oh, the Hearts, they keep trying. Robbie Neilson, he is crying. As usual, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to have a look over some of Robbie Neilson's inevitable post-match comments last night in regards to the Celtic and Hearts game. The game which Celtic, of course, won and kept themselves 9 points clear at the top of the table. It's all smiles in Glasgow, maybe a wee bit more gloom over in the capital. If you haven't already, make sure to hit like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. Heading into yet another big weekend for Celtic, we try and further our challenge, you could say, for the treble this season with our Scottish Cup quarter-final against Hearts at Tynecastle. A double-header against the Jambos this week, and probably time for more tears from Robbie Neilson come Saturday afternoon. It's a typical one today. And remember, right at the start of the season, I think it was, I made that video about Robbie Neilson greeting and moaning and whinging about every last wee thing in a game against Celtic. Well, some things never change. The less Hearts get a result against Celtic, the more moaning we have from Robbie Neilson. So we're going to have a look at all of that today. A quick recap on last night. I'll point you in the direction of the live stream if you've missed it. We went live for the post-match reaction last night rather than the usual video. So if you haven't seen it, it is on the channel to check out, feel free. But fantastic from Celtic to come from a goal behind once more to win a game quite convincingly. I think we were firing on all cylinders once more from an attacking point of view anyway. We've seen players like Haksabanovic come off the bench and score a goal. It was a real good overall performance from Celtic, and you know, with 10 games left to play in the league season, we're 9 points clear, 27 goals clear of Rangers as well. We couldn't be better placed, and if you told me to start the season this is how it'd be, I probably wouldn't have believed you, but here we are, and things just keep getting better. So we've won the League Cup, we've got one hand on the league title. Saturday's obviously a big test in terms of the Scottish Cup to see if we can make it to Hampden once more. But last night was great. Check out the live stream. Let's talk about Robbie Neilson. Now, I know there'll probably be Hearts fans who've clicked on this video just to see what I'm saying about Robbie Neilson and probably to label me obsessed with him, considering this is the second time I've directed a video towards him this season, and we usually give him it quite stinking on the podcast as well. So, you know, Robbie Neilson is no stranger to slander from me, but can you blame me? I can't stand him. And to be honest, he's probably one of the managers that in recent times I've detested the most in the Scottish Premiership. Probably more so than some of the managers who have been at the other mob in recent times. He does my head in. It's constant tears, streaming. You know, he could fill the Clyde with his tears. But he's such a greeting-faced bastard, man. Just pack it in. Let's give the situation some context then. Robbie Neilson last night took to his post-match press conference to voice his discontent towards the referee's performance when refusing to give Alexandre Bernabei a red card after a VAR check. It was checked for serious foul play. It was a tackle on one of the Hearts players that could have resulted in a red card. It wasn't resulted in a red card, and it didn't sit very well with Mr. Neilson. Now, if I had the opportunity to put money on at the start of the game for Robbie Neilson to be greeting in his post-match press conference, trust me, I would have seriously considered putting the bet on. However, you wouldn't have got much back because it's virtually guaranteed that he's going to be greeting after the game. It's Robbie Neilson for you. The bald head is getting to him. You know that joke. No offence to anybody bald watching this video. Love you, subscribe. But you know they always make the joke about being bald. He acts very bald and it's getting to him. That loss of the hair. No wonder with all the moaning he does. He's probably stressed at his box. But anyway, voiced his discontent. Let's have a look at his comments in regards to the nearly Alexandre Bernabei red card. He said this: usually coming to Parkhead, you need a decapitation before you get a red card against you. That was the words of Robbie Neilson, the Joker. Silly Robbie. The red card was checked, by the way. The VAR did check over and it decided that it wasn't a red card, because I thought that the VAR was this almighty device that was meant to make all the right decisions. So surely if it's decided it's not a red card, it's not a red card. So I don't know what he's moaning about. Now, this still image has been thrown around a lot of Bernabeu's tackle last night, which does make it look a really nasty one. It looks like a poor challenge. Bernabeu, who was struggling to get into the game in the first half, I thought. He kind of lunged in, and this is the still image that's been thrown around, and the one that many Hearts fans are referencing and backing up their manager on, with his quote about needing a decapitation at Celtic Park. Jesus, if we could have decapitated anybody at Celtic Park last night, I wonder who I would have chose. In all seriousness, I think it's some cheek from Robbie Neilson, who is a manager who's been at Hearts 2 different tenures now, and every time that they've played Celtic across the last few years when he's been in charge, the decisions that have went Robbie Neilson's ways, the penalties that they've been given, the fouls that on Celtic players, the tactics that he deploys against us on occasion. We know Hearts are a dirty mob, and they can be when they choose to be, especially with Neilson in charge. He has some cheek to talk, saying that they needed a decapitation to see a red card at Celtic Park with the decisions that have went his way in recent years. When you watch back on it, the referee, the VAR decides it's not a red card. The referee doesn't choose to go over and check his monitor, and that's what's rubbed Neilson the wrong way. He says if he goes over to his screen, he's probably going to change his decision because he gets to see it in better depth. Get over it. Stop greeting. Yous were beat anyway. That's it. It's over. You're done. You were pumped. It wasn't like we won by a fluke. You wouldn't have changed the game. Yous were pumped. We were all over you. So I don't know where the tears are coming from, Mr. Neilson. This was a tweet that I seen earlier on Twitter, and I want to give some credit to the ordinary boy who tweeted this. Don't know if he watches the videos, probably doesn't. But this was a tweet I seen earlier. Robbie Neilson in the last 18 months has seen his side award 3 penalty kicks against Celtic, while also benefiting from poor refereeing decisions when it comes to conceding penalties. Not to mention brutal challenges by his players going unpunished. Pipe down, Robbie. And just to add to that tweet, can I just take us back to the very first time VAR was used in a Celtic game at domestic level? It was at Tynecastle back last year in the first half of the season. And it was the first game. And the decision making would make you think that Ewan Cameron and his Hearts loyal were officiating the game from the VAR room. It was shockingly bad. Yeah, Robbie Neilson's coming and greeting about not getting awarded or not getting red cards in his favour at Celtic Park. Honestly, excuse after excuse after excuse. That's what it seems to be. He reminds me of Jurgen Klopp in the sense that if something doesn't go his way or the result doesn't go his way, it's not his fault, it's not his team's fault. No, it's any sort of fucking wizardry from elsewhere that causes a Hearts loss. Get your baldy head, put it to bed, and shut up, Robbie. The worst part is he knows what he's doing before this game on Saturday. He knows exactly what he's doing. And you can call me a conspiracy theorist all you like, I'm not usually one for it, but you come out and you say all these things on the Wednesday night after the game, knowing that we're playing them on Saturday, and it hopefully gets the referees to sway on your side a wee bit. We better watch, Neilson won't be happy if we make a bad decision, whoever's refereeing the game on Saturday. That's what they'll be thinking now. He knows what he's doing. Put the pressure on. Try and get decisions to go your way. Make sure the VAR's checking absolutely everything so there's nothing for Robbie Neilson to greet about after the game. Listen, even if Hearts pap us out the cup on Saturday, which has every chance of happening, the Hearts could do it. They could put us out the cup. I hope they don't, touch wood. But even if they do, he'll still be fucking greeting. He could win the lottery, he could sign Lionel Messi, win the league title and fucking retire on a beach in Mallorca, and he'd still be fucking greeting on the sands of the Costa fucking Blanca. I don't know, he's honestly, there's no winning with him. There's absolutely no winning with him. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens on Saturday, but the clown makeup is back on his face. He knows how to wind us up, he really does. He winds me up anyway, I'm not ashamed to admit it, and the Hearts fans, once again, they'll absolutely love that. But do you know what? It's fine. I'm okay with it. He can wind me up. Because Celtic just keep fucking beating him. And that's what matters. Another couple of wee news stories to talk about before we wrap up today's video. So just some brief updates from Celtic Park. Celtic have appointed a new scout within the scouting team. Joe Dudgeon has been appointed as a new scout at Celtic. Mark Hendry from Football Scotland reported that this afternoon. He's left the City Football Group, which of course Celtic have very strong links with nowadays. Of course, we've got Mark Lawwell, Ange Postecoglou, all these kind of wee links with the City Group in recent times, and yet we have, and now we have another one. He's joining back up with Mark Lawwell after working with him in the past at the City Football Group, and he will now join us with experience from both New York City and Melbourne City, where he was overseeing international recruitment. So he's now here. He's been moved in as a scout. He's worked at Manchester City, I believe, as well in the past. So we've upgraded our scouting system, which has obviously been very good over the past few years. Ange Postecoglou, his recruitment has been brilliant. Obviously, the guys that have been helping him with that have done a spot-on job. And I think this is another next step, you could say, in trying to evolve that scouting system that we do have in place. So yeah, Joe Dudgeon's here. Don't know much about him. Hopefully the good recruitment carries on. And finally for today, some news that excites me as a kit collector, and some interesting news. The Celtic released a fourth kit for the 2022-23 campaign. I'll throw some photos of it on screen. This was announced this morning, available for pre-order now in time for St Patrick's Day, a shirt that recognises the proud Irish origins in their words ahead of its 135th anniversary of the club. The new top that will be the fourth of the collection this year, and for the first time in many years, I believe that we've had four kits in one season. The first time in recent memory I can remember us announcing an official fourth shirt that should be worn in game. Now this is going to be limited edition. Get it while you can if you really want it. Pre-order. Once it's gone, it's gone. I've got my sources in the Celtic store, as you know. But once it's gone, that'll be it, I think. They're only going to be dropping one batch of them, so you better pre-order now if you do want it. I'm actually surprised at the price. I mean, £65 is still a ridiculous price for a football shirt. They should never cost that much. But I was expecting it to be triple digits or something. I really was. When I was waiting in the queue this morning, I was like, oh, here we go. And it was 65, so I've pre-ordered it to keep the collection growing. In terms of the shirt itself, it's alright. It's not amazing. It's not bad either. I think it will be nice in person as well. So I look forward to getting it anyway to keep the collection up and stuff like that. But in general, my opinion of fourth kits has always stayed the same. And even when Celtic released them, despite me buying it, I think that four kits is ridiculous. I really do. And I know Adidas in recent years, it's not so much down to the club. I think it's more to do with Adidas, in all honesty, because they've been doing it with clubs like Man United, Arsenal, Real Madrid. All the bigger clubs have released umpteen kits a season, and it's beyond a joke. You know, obviously money is a big part of the game nowadays, but Christ above, man, we don't need four kits a year. But anyway, your thoughts on the new fourth shirt, let me know. I think it's meant to be getting worn against Hibs next weekend, but with kit clashes and all that jazz, I'm not entirely sure what the script is, so we'll just have to wait and see. There, it's out now anyway. And that does it. Robbie Neilson, keep greeting your baldy head in. Like and subscribe. See you next time.